Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at Tasteful Touches again, new stamp set which is available from the 3rd of June. And we've had a look at the flower, we've had a look at the feather. And today we're going to do something with this lovely little sort of, I don't know, leaf, floral, sprig sort of little image, and I thought we'd do something fun with that one. So we need to start off with, we are going to take a piece of cardstock, which is whatever is your centre panel that's going to be in your card. For me it is 5 1/4 inches by 3.5, and then you're going to cut yourself a mask in exactly the same size. Now I do this with copy paper because I find it easier, and I've taken the second size down on the stitched shapes on the squares, but any shape you want to do, I think a square just looks quite nice in there. We're taking 3 colours, which is Melon Mambo, Highland Heather and Blushing Bride. And we've got some sponge daubers in the appropriate colours for those. So we're going to start with the Melon Mambo. And we are going to, now you can put this down with low tack, but I find that with, I can hold it down just with my finger quite easily. And because it is copy paper, it's not going to sort of slide about anywhere. So we're going to take some colour down into each corner, so the 2 opposite corners. Let's make sure I've got it straight while I'm at it. There's me turning around and saying make sure you've got it straight and don't slide it. And I think I have just, no I haven't, there we go. Okay, and then we're going to take the other corner and literally just take it through on there. I've always liked doing pretty backgrounds, and this is a really simple way of doing it. So we're just doing 2, one in one side, one in the other, and I'm going to keep these out because we are going to be using them a few times. Now this is the Highland Heather. You could use Gorgeous Grape, but I didn't want it too dark in there. And then you're going to do the opposite corners. So again, just, I always say with sponge daubers, start lightly and then just build it up. So you can make it as dark as you want, or you can make it as light as you want. But just sort of build it up as you go. So we're just going to take that down in here. So we've got 4 corners in different colours. And as I say, don't worry too much because this is a building up exercise. So you're going to make it bigger and more blended as you go. So that's that one. Then we're going to take Blushing Bride, which just sort of tones it all in nicely together. So let's make sure that's back in on there. So the Blushing Bride, I'm going to take it from the centre, and again I'm just doing it quite gently, but just putting that in on the centre, building it up as I go. So you've got the base of the colours that you want. Now at the moment it all looks a bit sort of splodgy, so this is where you start blending it through with the other bits. So just blend it through, and because it's that sort of pink colour, it doesn't matter hugely. So you've got those 3 colours in there. Now we're going to go back to the Melon Mambo, and we're going to start working that into the centre, so blending those colours in together. So you've got the solid pink at the side, or the solid Melon Mambo at the side, and then you're just bringing it in to the centre and covering the other colours, and you can take it out through into the purples as well. Then we're going to do the, oops, get my finger in it, the Highland Heather, and again we're going to take that over and just start blending it all the way around the card into the centre, because what you want is this sort of mottledy look of the colours blending in together. So choose colours that you know will work nicely together. And as I say, if you blend it in, sorry, my hand's probably going a bit too much over the top of this, but I just wanted to get that in. I think that's going to be perfect. I might just add a little bit more of the pink. And this is where you can, as I say, you can add more or less as you want. So it's really down to you to just sort of blend it in as you want, so that you've got different colour tones coming in. And you can just sort of take it in. That's better. So just work on those colours as you want, and then when you take your mask off, because I've done it in copy paper, I can just literally throw it away, and you've then got your nice sort of centrepiece on there. And we can put these colours away now because we don't need them. So it was Melon Mambo, it was Highland Heather, and it was Blushing Bride. So as I say, those colours just sort of work nicely together, but you can take any shades you want. You just want things that sort of blend in together nicely. Just put those out of the way. Okay, so now we need to take the stamp that we're going to work on, which is this just sort of little spriggy sort of image. I don't know whether you'd call it a leaf. It's more sort of sprig. You could have it totally green if you wanted to, but on this one we're going to do it in a good black ink. Now you want something that is going to make it look quite dark. You could do it with the Stamparatus and do it a few times, but if you've got a good black ink, then you should be fine to be able to get that straight over. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to put this across, and you can turn it to whatever direction you want. I'm just going to sort of put it straight in the centre, give it a reasonable press down, because you're putting it over sponge colour, so you want it to come out nicely. And then you have your image that's come through beautifully on there. Okay, so now what we need to do is we are going to take out, let me just clean my Stamp Up so it's a little bit cleaner than it was. We are now going to take the sentiment that we want and put that at the bottom. And I think I'm going to have something really big, so I'm going to have this just saying hello. I rather like that one. So let's make sure that we can get that nice and straight. Okay, and again I'm doing it in the good black ink because we want it all to tone in together. You could put it in the colours, but at this stage I want it all to be the same. So we're just going to put this down in on the centre like that, just saying hello. And we're then going to take out some of the colour from the leaves and make them more prominent. So if you get that back in on there, right. If you take an aqua painter, here we go, and you need a little piece of kitchen roll. And what you're going to do is, you need it fairly wet, so make sure it's reasonably wet. You are going to take out, and this is why you want a good black ink that isn't a water-soluble ink that will bleed through, because otherwise you'll just get a splodgy mess. So you're just going to add some water in onto these leaves very carefully, and I hope you can see that they will start lifting the colour up. So I'm going down it all first, just gently. As soon as you add water to it, it starts to naturally lift. Now you could use a chalk marker, however these are so tiny that you don't want the chalk marker, doesn't tend to leave that sort of translucent part, it can sort of cover it up completely, and then you end up with a bit of a mess. So I'm just literally going over each one just to damp it down first, and then I'm going to go back in over it and then just take the kitchen roll, and it just lifts just a little bit of the colour off, which really looks quite pretty. You have to have a reasonably steady hand. There's me bobbling it about all over the place, but just work on the leaves, and you might have to do it a few times to get them all to come up quite white, but they will do. It's just a matter of adding just a little bit. Don't want too much because you don't want to saturate it and start warping it, because it's not watercolour paper. But you should be able to just start to get a little bit starting to lift up. And again, a very simple, easy card to achieve, but yet another idea from this absolutely lovely stamp set. There is so much you can do with just one stamp set. I think it's lovely. So I'm going to stop there. You can carry on and carry on and carry on as much as you like, and you can see hopefully that it started lifting some of it out, but as I say, just keep working on it. Then I would take a background of Melon Mambo, because it's going to be quite bright and cheery, and if you put this on the Melon Mambo, you then have a really lovely, bright, vibrant, very simple, very easy, straightforward card with just a bit of a pop of colour. And using the third one, so we've used the flower, we've used the feather, we've now used this sort of leafy one, and the next one I'm going to do is with this little one, the little sort of patterny beasts in the background. I've got a couple of ideas with that one, so come back and see me for that. So thank you so much for watching me. Do look forward to seeing you again, and as always, stay safe. Bye bye.